There we go. So that was a bet being settled. People on the stream had told me that I would not open an episode in song, and so I'm trying to prove them wrong. They said that I wouldn't open an episode. I feel like I lost a bet somehow, but anyways, this is what I do on the stream because I'm a big fan of like Frankie Valli and like funk music and Prince and Motown and like basically anything where you get an excuse to sing in falsetto. I'm a giant fan of, and a lot of people may not know this, but it's a thing that I like to do. And if I had to give you some advice, it's don't start. Once you start singing in falsetto, you will never quit. You will never escape. It's a never-ending cycle. It's like a motorcycle. Like, it won't stop. It's on wheels, and it's going way too fast for you to ever stop it. And so just don't start in the first place. Treat it like drugs. Treat it like a narcotic. Just don't start singing in falsetto because it will never end. This is how I summon my cats by falsetto song now. And if I can do a video of it, I can do a video log of me. I have a special song that I sing, and my cat will come running every single time. It's hilarious. I trained him by feeding him every time that I did it, but now he knows that he gets like cuddles and he gets like kitty hugs and all that kind of stuff. My cat is super cuddly. Like, everybody else acts like cats are douchebags all the time, but my cat is more like a dog than a cat, which unfortunately he's in the room with me right now and he's looking at me with his ears back and he's offended that I've said that because I think he interpreted it well. But anyways, I'm a little bit concerned that you all think I'm crazy at the moment, and so did I already come back here? That really seems sort of unfortunate that the trails, like, is this a functioning railroad? I would like to meet the construction engineer who decided this was going to happen. Maybe they're not done blasting their way through the mountain. Maybe that's what it is. So it's cold out. We're a little bit fatigued. We have a little bit of hunger going, but I think we should have time to loot the lumber camp that was over there before we go back home. And if we don't, we'll crash out in one of the lumber camps for just a little bit. I think this episode's going to be fun. I've got a pretty good idea what I want to do for this episode, and everything has been going swimmingly. It's all been going according to... I love the word swimmingly. I don't know why I like the word swimmingly. Like, things have been going swimmingly. I don't understand where that word came from, though, because a lot of people struggle with swimming, and so that would not be a word that I would use. If I was bad at swimming, swimmingly would mean something completely and totally different. It would mean that I would flail and thrash and just have all kinds of trouble getting the job done. I'm glad that I settled that bet now. That's been sitting on the table for a while. I think it was Dargona's fault. I think Dargona, were you the one that said that I wouldn't open an episode on the stream by falsetto singing? I don't know, somebody did. It was one of my regulars in the stream who said that I totally would not open an episode with falsetto singing, and now that has been laid to rest. So that's what happens when you challenge the Splattercat. He will blow your ears out with falsetto singing. I'm going to try and adjust that in post so that it's not too loud. It doesn't, like, injure people, because I don't have the money to pay your medical bills. I like you, but I don't like you that much. So, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. As you might think, YouTube does not have the best health coverage plan. In fact, the health coverage plan that YouTube has is none. And so... oh God! I hope my teeth don't start hurting soon. That's like, I've been really, really worrying about it lately. I know we're just walking around right now, so I'm just going to talk about nonsense and nothing. My back molar has gotten that, like, filling has slipped out feeling lately. Like, if you've ever had a filling put in or had a filling fall out, you know the feeling. It's like that weird sharp feeling where you just want to stick your tongue over your tooth and be like, oh God! That feels so horrible! Why does my ear hurt when my tooth hurts? And it just makes your whole side of your face, like, squinch off, and you just can't, like when something cold hits it. I've gotten that feeling lately, so I've got a bad feeling I'm going to have to go visit my arch nemesis, the dentist, and have him perform painful things upon my mouth. I think you have to be, at least on some level, some kind of psychopath to be a dentist. And I know there's a dentist sitting there right now that's like, hey, I like to help people. I'm not a psychopath. But I've never been, I say this because my experience with dentists has been really, really bad. Like, I don't think I've ever been to the dentist where it didn't hurt. Like, even when you go in for a cleaning, it's going to hurt like hell. You're like, damn. Maybe I just have a bad dentist. That could be the possibility as well. For the last year or two, because I was a broke college student, all of my dental care has been done by other college students. Like, we had a dental hygienist school at our college, and so they have, like, these open... I guess that before you can get a job to work as a... Before you can get a job to work as a dental hygienist, I guess you have to do a certain amount of, like, charity hours or something while you're training as a practitioner. I don't know how it works. I'm sure somebody can explain it down in the comments. But anyways, they have to have like 8 or 10 hours of like working on people, like volunteer work or something. And so while you're doing that volunteer work, basically it means I have people who have no idea what they're doing working on my teeth, and it hurts like hell. And so that's been my dental coverage over the last few years. I need to go to an actual dentist, get my tooth checked out, and just be like, hey, it doesn't feel good. And so I think that's probably something I should have looked at. Is there anything over here? It's a little bit dark. I can't tell. I don't want to walk away from any more knives. If there's any more knives around, I would love to have them conniving in my backpack. Okay. Well, since it's not in here, what? You can't. We can't pick up the mug. You don't want to enjoy frosty or heated beverages? Well, damn. That's no sort of outdoor winter appreciation. There is nothing better. I don't even like coffee, but I will drink it when I'm in the field. Like, there is nothing better than just a black, like, brew of coffee made over a fire at like 5 in the morning when you're out in some frigid wasteland. Like, it is seriously sometimes the only way you can get through the morning. How much weight am I carrying right now? A bit. A bit would be the answer to that question. I don't want to make multiple runs back over here. So I may just loot all this, and then we can just be overweight or something. And then once we're overweight, I can come back and get this later off camera. Unless you want me to do my... if you guys want to see me do all my supply runs off and on camera, I guess I can include that. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on over here? Orange soda? Ooh, and grape soda. I am stoked about this. My childhood summers are all coming back to mind. They are invading. Grape soda, it has to be the discount version though. You can't get like any of the brand name orange soda. Like it can't be Fanta, for example. It has to be like Saveco orange soda. That's the only way that it works in my memories. Because like my family, we used to buy, for example, my house always had, back in the, they don't do this anymore as far as I know, because I went through the cereal aisle yesterday and I looked because I still buy child cereal even though I'm a grown-ass man. Like for example, in my shopping cart yesterday, I bought like 3 boxes of Trix, like 2 boxes of Fruit Loops, a whole bunch, just a load and load and load of chips, like Cheetos and just every bad thing for you. And then to make it look a little bit better, because I get self-conscious. I get self-conscious after I load up, as a grown man, I get a little self-conscious when I load up a shopping cart with nothing but trash food to last me for the month. And so I felt bad, so I bought like 7 salads. Like I bought like 3 Caesar salads and then like 3 chef salads, and I just put them off to the side so that if anybody brought it up, I'd be like, well, I got salad in there, come on, man. And then I bought some grapes. I didn't even want grapes. I just bought grapes so that I like grapes, but I probably won't eat them before they go bad. But I bought grapes just to offset all the junk food I was buying, just to make it look a little bit better. It's sad. I get self-conscious about things like that because they always bring it up in the line. Like you go to, that's the problem, is you go to the line and then they always bring it up and they'd be like, so, buying some junk food. You having like a poker game or what's going on? I'm like, no, this is just what I eat on a daily basis. And they'd be like, really? And they always say that in kind of like a doubting way, like they expect me to be like husky or something. I don't know. And I explain that I used to be. But I'm skinny now because I run a lot. That's the only... I always tell people, I don't exercise to look good. I exercise so that I can just eat terrible things and do horrible, horrible atrocities to my body. And so I guess you could reasonably argue that I would be qualified as... There's this thing in gym terms that people use. Like, for example, my... Like, this is a term that... I have a cousin who's a physical trainer. And so he uses this term, it's called skinny fat, and it means that you're out of shape even though you're skinny. Like, it means that just, like, you're skinny, and you look like you're in shape, but you eat really horribly, and so, like, when you go to the doctor, your cholesterol level's super high, and he calls it skinny fat, and that's probably what I would qualify as. I don't know. I eat loads of terrible food. Like, I don't go more than 48 hours without some major infusion of junk food and sugar into my diet. I am probably on the fast track, just a crash course for diabetes. If I had to, if I had to be honest with myself, I love junk food way too much. It is a real problem. Like the other day, I went to the Jelly Belly factory in my hometown, and I bought like 10 pounds of. I talk about this in my playthrough with Blitz. I bought 10 pounds of faulty jelly beans, and before you get worried about what faulty jelly beans means. Faulty jelly beans, don't worry about it. They're fine, I promise. Faulty jelly beans means that they're too big or they're too small to be actually put in the bags of actual jelly beans. So the factory has like really, really high quality standards because they consider themselves to be like gourmet jelly beans. Like they're handcrafted and they spend a lot of like R&D time coming up with like all of these various flavors so that they taste spot on. So for example, the schnozberries will in fact taste like schnozberry jelly beans. Oh, what's that? What's this? What's this? There's something on the hill. What's this? Maybe it has pills. I had to think real fast. I couldn't think of anything that would rhyme. I'm a big Tim Burton fan too. I don't know if you... I like anything with music. I'm a big musicals fan. It has nothing to do with anything else. God, that would suck for this to be your job. You gotta walk up a big-ass mountain every day just to sit up inside that thing? Oh, that would suck so much. A lot of geologists get jobs as park rangers when we first get out of college. It's a cool job. It's a very cool job. You get to carry a gun. You get to be like pseudo-police, but at the same time, you don't have to do police training. So if you like shoot somebody on accident, I guess you have an excuse. You'd be like, whoa, 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 I wasn't trained for this. You can like pass the buck on the forestry service. But yeah, you get to carry guns. You get to deal with drunk people starting fires in the middle of the forest. How much fun does that sound like, right? I mean, what job isn't fun where you get to deal with drunk people, he said sarcastically with a tongue inside of his cheek. I don't know if I could deal with drunk people for a living, because that's the majority of the reason that most people go out and camp is just to get totally shit-faced hammered. I don't know where the access point is for this hill. There's got to be a trail that leads up to that, and we could camp out there overnight because we brought all of our supplies with us. And so since it's 3:30, we're in the danger zone right now. Danger zone! We're in the danger zone at the moment. And so we do want to find our way up there if we can within the next couple minutes to 30 minutes because it's going to get dark soon. And getting caught out here in the dark, I've never made myself a snow shelter, and I would prefer to not start now. I would really prefer to not start now, and I know I led into that sentence like I wanted to, just to showcase it. Oh, don't break your ankles, come on. If you break your ankles again, I'm gonna be like, WTF, Mate, what's going on with you right now? Why are you always breaking stuff right now? Like, you know, you could conceivably make it up a mountain without breaking your ankles. It is a thing that you could accomplish. We're getting hungry, too. Let me eat some food real fast. Where's the meat at? Where's the meat at? Da venison. Oh, all our other venison went bad. That sucks for us. That means we've got to do a hunting day soon.
Damn.
Oh, you son. No, 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 no. We've sprained our ankle yet again, which makes our situation all the more of an egregious miscalculation of survival techniques. I don't suppose I can stand on top of the tree branches like you do in some cartoon video games. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can. Can I? I guess I'll go around right here. I want to find a way up the hill, though. If I don't, I'd prefer... If I can't make it up the hill by any other means, what I would prefer... Actually, this looks like a railing right here. We might be able to make it up here. Not the railing that you would expect it to be. Nobody railed on me right now, but it looks like there's a hand railing down there. Like a banister of some sort. So maybe that's the way that we can make it back around. Let's continue doing adventures, and I just clipped through a wall. And so if we run into a hard wall right here... That was... magical. Okay, so... Developers, you forgot to put in a wall right here. Just letting you know, the clipping plane is missing. I think we should be able to make it up here from here. It's a long walk, but we can spend the night at a new location. That sounds like fun. We haven't been here, and so anytime I find something new and exciting, I want to spend the night there. So off we go. I've never camped in snow. I've camped in, I think I talked about this in a previous episode, but I've camped in about 15 degrees. So in metric, I've camped in sub-freezing temperatures. But... like 13, I think 10 to 13 degrees is the lowest it's ever been. I've had it be cold enough to where I got out of my tent in the morning and there were icicles off my tent, and you really, that was the worst thing ever. Luckily by that point I had learned that you put all of your clothes inside your sleeping bag with you. Seriously, do not put on clothes in the morning straight out of your duffel bag or whatever. If you get out of your sleeping bag in the morning and put on cold clothes, oh, it's so bad. The worst part is the zippers. Like, for example, you know how occasionally the zipper on your fly on the front of your pants will get stuck inside of the fabric pointing downwards, and you've got to dig it out of there? If that happens while your fingers are cold and while the clothes are cold, oh, it's going to hurt so much. It's going to be really, really unpleasant. It's not going to be fun in any respect, so... we got plenty of water to make it through the night, so if we can make the hill right here. Last time, it looks like it healed me with painkillers, so let's just... take painkillers again, and maybe it's like a critical success. It's a great success, and you just... How long has it been since somebody... Yeah, I think that it's either bugged or it's working differently than denoted, because when we've taken painkillers the last couple times, it's worked out perfectly fine. So anyways, let's go up the mountain, and we'll spend the night here. It does look like we have a lovely red evening coming in on us. I hope that we don't have to hike down in a blizzard in the morning. God, if this was the walk back to my house every day... wow, there would be no way. You would earn your dinner, that's for sure. So we've got a forestry lookout. I don't know if the ooh, I thought this was a cabin or something. If the windows are broken, this may not be an option. We may have to walk home in the dark. So there's the ranger over there, I'm guessing. Why is everybody dead here? I'd love to have some kind of lore or explanation added where you have to like go through and find little notes that are scattered around randomly. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and you could figure out what's been going on. Now, are the windows okay? If the windows are okay, this might be survivable. Let's check it out. Close the door behind us. This looks like actually an alternate location where you might get the rifle. And so this has led me to a position where all of those runs that I've just sort of quit because I didn't find a rifle at the hunting cabin, that might have been a mistake. How much are we carrying right now? 28.56. There's food here. There's an extra hatchet. Okay, that's good. I'm going to take the rifle ammunition for sure. How much did that give me? Another 5. All right. So that's going to work out for us. We've got a metal bin over here. We do have a wood stove. We have a little bit of extra firewood, so we can raise the temperature in here. What's the temperature looking like? 5 degrees Celsius. So we should be able to sleep here without any freezing problems, but it'll be a tad risky. Let's eat some more calories. And while we eat these calories, I'm going to take a look at my timer here and make sure that I'm not running too long on all this. Okay, good. We've got at least another 5 minutes to go. And so let's go ahead and survive the evening, and that's probably where I'll break off this episode. We'll cut it a little bit short. But first things first, let's... So we've got a pry bar. We've got a bandage. All right. We've got a water bottle. Okay. We've got plenty of water, but it never hurts to have a little bit extra. We have an energy bar. And that's going to be it for right there. Is there anything under the bed? No, there's nothing under the bed. That cloth isn't lootable. We've got a can opener. We've got a couple basic sundries and necessities. I don't suppose that the radios work. Yeah, unfortunately. Developers, I would love... I don't know if you're ever going to see this video, but developers, I would love to record a radio show for you. Just, I used to do radio, so let me know. I would do it for free, pro bono. I would help you out with your game and record a radio show, as many episodes as you want, and I would do it in my free time just to make your game better. A mod, whatever, just hey. And you know what? Maybe one of my fans can let you know if they're active on your forums. I would be happy to give you, like, voice acting work for totally free. Because I know this is probably a low-budget operation, but I used to work in radio. I'm radio trained. I've got a radio voice and everything. It's what I'm using right this second. I can swap into it, too. I could be like, hey, how's it going, everybody? This is 106.1 KMEL, and you're sitting here with Splattercat. I can jump straight into it. I can do it because I did it for a living for a little while. I didn't do it for a living. I did it in AM radio. AM radio is kind of like the AAA leagues. If you move it to FM, that's how you know you're doing it for real. I did it on AM 1670 for a while, and then AM 1610 for a little while, and then AM 16... I moved around. I did heavy metal shows and stuff. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I don't really... Let's see if we can positionally... I'm trying to think of things that we can do right now. We need to figure out where we're at. So let's find... Let's check the dead guy as well. Let me close the door so we're not letting out all the warm air. Although I think it's... I bet it doesn't work that way. I don't think that fluid mechanics are implemented into the game right now. A lot of people don't know this, but air around you, it counts as a fluid if you're talking about it in chemical respects. So you would do your calculations the exact same you would as if it were a gas or anything else. It's just that you offset things with I think the density, there's a modifier. There's a letter in there somewhere in the overall algebra that changes. It becomes a much larger number if you're doing fluid mechanics with water than if you're doing fluid mechanics with mist or a gas. It looks like that's just going to pop us out down at the lumber camp, which it's not hard to find our way back from there. I would love to just know where to look, though, so that I could check on this occasionally. I don't think this is a good spot for us to hold up over the long term. In fact, I think this is a really, really bad spot for us to hold up in the long term. But, did I miss... What is that? Oh, that's the fence. Okay, the fence is clipping down into the snow. It's buried in the snow. I guess it wouldn't be called clipping if it's in the snow. It's called buried. I'm exhausted right now, so that's going to slow down our search a little bit. But it looks like this is the mountain in the middle of the lumber camp, and I should know that already. But I want to know what this side faces right here, because maybe I'm looking too far out in the distance. I don't know. We're exhausted right now, so unfortunately we are going to have to go to sleep really soon. But what I want to do is I would love to make eye contact with something over on this side that we could shoot for as our new exploration target, because obviously after this we're going to have to drop off supplies back at the hunting cabin. There's the river right there, which makes me think, from where we're looking at right now, that makes me think that that right there, see that little gully that runs in between there? Kind of with this hogback, or that's not a hogback, I guess. That would just count as a mountain. It looks like a mountain. It's got stones sticking out, so it's not a hogback. But anyways, this right here, that little gully, I think, you see that tree right there that I'm pointing at? I think that tree is actually, if we're facing that way, I think it's on the right side of the railroad tracks, which are running in that little gully right there. I don't know if I'm right, but that's what I'm thinking right now. That's what I'm thinking, because if the river is right there... Yeah, if the river's right there with regards to the train tracks being over there, then that means that wall, you see the very misty mountain over there, that's going to be, down at the bottom of that is where you're going to see all of the tourist locations, and then right down there we should be able, that mountain right here that I'm pointing at, that treetop right there, if we followed that tree line down, that's going to be where our house is. So there's a reason we didn't see this, and in fact, it's obscured by some of these stones if you're looking from a lower vantage point, and I think I would be right to assume that the developers probably did that on purpose to encourage exploration. So let's go back inside. I think that's going to be about all that we have the time for in this episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here for another episode of The Long Dark. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. I'll see you there. Take care, everybody, and hi-do.